Hello and what is up guys, Rai here and welcome back to some more automation in BeamNG.drive. So in front of us we've got a Suzuki Jimny body. This thing is 93 inches in wheelbase. We're building a competitor to the new Ford Bronco. This is a similar kind of boxy off-road shape. It is a bit shorter at 93 inches in the wheelbase, and the Bronco is about 100 inches, so we're about 7 or so inches shorter. It's going to be a bit smaller, but it's still going to have plenty of power and a couple interesting engine options probably. I think what we're going to do is just build the top end today and just see where we go from there. For those of you guys who don't know, the Ford Bronco is a all-new off-road vehicle taking on the Jeep Wrangler from Ford. They also have the Bronco Sport, but no one really cares about that because that's based on the Ford Edge, or the Ford Escape, or the Ford crossover platform. That's what it is. Okay, so partial aluminum to start off, because this thing is still got to be 2020, right? You know, it's still got to be somewhat light, even though it's going to be pretty heavy. Ladder chassis. This is a truck, obviously. Steel. Front-mounted longitudinal engine, because what else would you have? We're gonna have double wishbone in the front. We're gonna have that in the front because, you know, that's what Ford has. I think it's multi-link. We can go for like solid axles, maybe. We could probably do so. You know what? I think they have multi-link or links. I'm not too sure. I can't recall off the top of my head. We'll go for just leaves and coil, or coil and leaf, maybe. Coil and leaf, or leaf and coil, or just coils all the way around. I don't know. Solid axles. That sounds fine for now. We'll hop into the engine. I might change the suspension later. We're going for a good old V8, because what else would you have? This is going to be a 4... We want push rod, though. Nah, it's going to be a 4 valve. This is a big old V8. You know, I guess similar to the 4 to 5 liter V8. We're going to go a bit bigger, though. Like 5.5 liters, maybe. Something unique and different. We're going to go for a big stroke. And even... Or a smaller bore, I guess. 5.5 liters exactly. Do we want VVL? Probably. That seems like a reasonable thing. We're going to go for a bit of forage on everything. This thing has still got to rev a little bit. Lower the cam profile down just a bit. I want to have just a long and smooth power curve. Really long, really smooth. This down to like 30 and 40 VVT all cams. No turbos, because this thing has got to be reliable, obviously. Twin direct injection, standard intake, premium fuel. This is like, you know, it's a fancy engine. It's got to have fancy stuff. Long tube headers, because we need that power. And just make it nice and quiet today. We'll go for range exhaust. So right off the hop here with like nothing tuned at all. We're getting what, almost 370 horsepower. Let's actually go. Yeah, we'll go to a cast crank. We can go to probably, okay, we'll leave that heavy duty forged. Okay. Things are looking okay. We'll go to 13.5 fuel mixture. We can go to 100 on ignition timing. And I think the rest is pretty hunky-dory. We've got like a pretty, it's not the most torque, 380 pound-feet. It's not best in class. This is actually less than the Bronco's 400 with a V6. And we'll just increase the compression to what, 11.2 to 1. That's pretty high compression. 407 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. So it's best in class power and torque. We can actually go a little. We're doing pretty good in the efficiency side of things. Over 22% is not bad in this body. What I've tested. We'll go a little higher. No, we don't want. So 415 horsepower and 408 pound-feet of torque. That's not bad. We'll go for the. Oh, look at those tires. Oh, my sweet summer child. Look at those tires. They're tiny. 4x4, we're going to go for a dual clutch, because modern transmissions, we're going to go really long overdrive. Manual locking diffs. This thing is going to be a purebred off-road machine. And we're going to go for, oh, that's not good. There we go. Perfect. We're going to actually go in and out. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't even know you could do that with this body. That's cool. Do a little bit, just because why not? So we can fit some very, very chunky tires. We'll go for like 305s front and rear. Nice and square setup. That's quite large. I think the Raptor or the Bronco is 315s on the max size. Steel wheels, because this is an off-road machine. We want larger tires, so let's go for the max, as big a size possible. That's a little bit too large, but we'll do it anyways. It's intense. I like that. The biggest we can do. Okay, 31. These are some big tires, man. My gosh. Oh my gosh. That's fine. And we'll space them out because, you know, off-road. Obviously, you need tires farther out. Sure, sounds great. Solid discs, we'll go for 3 pistons. And we'll go for 2 pistons, quite large in the rear and very large in the front. Now, off-road skid tray does nothing in BeamNG, but it's going to look cool, and it doesn't look cool, I guess. It's just there for specs, but that's fine. We'll go for premium and standard, probably 5-seater's fine. Hydraulic, we'll go for ESC, advanced safety. We're going to go for just regular springs. So 4,800 pounds, so quite heavy. I think it's heavier than the Bronco. It's got to be heavy. That's pretty heavy, man. 0 to 60, 5.7 seconds. We can actually 16.7, 6. It's not really improving with our overdrive. That's fine. We'll go for 200 kilometers an hour top speed. 0 to 60 and 5.7 is quite good. We'll make the gears short. What's the cost? The 40 grand for a 5.5 liter NA V8 with 415 horsepower, which I guess is, I think is less than the 5 liter V8 in the F-Series pickup trucks and whatnot. Lower exhaust is a bit, that's fine. There we go. That's a bit better. 430 or so horsepower. We have a little bit, just a little bit of octane to use there. This, okay, 431 horsepower and 406 pound-feet. That's not bad. That's a great number there. There's 60 in like the high fives, which is very, very good for, like, pretty much, is this like open diff? Yeah, open diff at the time, which is, that's very impressive. 0 to 60. This is Ford Raptor 0 to 60 numbers, with, I guess, nearly Raptor power, but this thing is a bit lighter than the Raptor. I think under 5,000 pounds. Not bad. The brakes are not coping at all. We'll go 4 pistons front, and we'll go a little larger on there, and we'll go a little bit more front bias. That's okay. But overall, just over $40,000. MPG is a little low, I think, for what we can do, but it's not atrocious. Okay, we can go for 16 with a bit more overdrive. I believe at 16 with a bit of overdrive. That's fine. That's fine. It is a premium off-road vehicle, which makes sense, I think. It's a pony car. It's a pony car and a muscle car. Of course it is. Of course. There's nothing else I would expect. Now, this thing's going to be styled probably similar, honestly, to the Bronco, because this body can't really do a whole lot styling-wise to make it unique. Maybe circle headlights, maybe square headlights. I'm not too sure. We're going to jump into designing this thing, and then we're going to see what this thing can do in the trails in BeamNG. And also, guys, I do a lot of these builds and stuff in my Discord, so make sure to join the Discord, link in the description. We'll jump into the design now. Sit back, relax, guys, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, guys, so we are starting to design our off-road vehicle competing against the Broncos. So first things first, I always usually start off with the grille and the headlights usually. I mean, usually the headlights and the grille as well. So this is, again, following a similar design path to the Bronco. We have a very, very long front grille, very, very wide, with 2 bars across and 2 headlights. So keeping just a 2 of everything sort of theme here so far. So 2 headlights on the other side like the Bronco. Now I'm working on the front bumper just a bit, adding a few details, a few ridges, a few bumps and creases in the front bumper, just give it a bit of detail here and there, adding a grille, or actually, I think it's an MDHL headlight housing, adding some more fixtures with the lights, making them a bit more detailed and whatnot, just sort of playing around with a few things here and there with the MDHL, the bottom front headlight housing, adding a bit of a power bulge on the hood. This thing is a very imposing vehicle. Got to have that sort of power bulge, adding some design details to the front grille, and playing around with the rims, the car's body color and stuff as well. We settle on this nice bright yellow color with the black plastic cladding, or just the black painted metal cladding or whatnot. Playing with a bit of detail on the front here, I do add the daytime running lights down in the bottom front fascia, and I'm working on just a few things like hood vents, the mirrors in place now, adding a turn signal here or there. We're trying to figure out what I'm doing for a turn signal as well. The side is very, very, very minimalistic, just with some turn signals, with a simple door handle, looks a bit more rugged, and a side step as well. The taillights, they do give me just a bit of trouble at first. Then I go for a rectangular shape, similar to how the front headlight housing is. I start off with a 3 sort of square system here. I do change it later on to just a 2 sort of square setup, because the front has 2 and the rear has 2, so I do change it here to have a similar pattern as the front grille to the rear. All integrated turn signals and all that into one, adding a single hatch, like a hatch release in the back, and then some wipers on the vehicle as well, some wheels, and then some exhausts. I'm playing around with a few things like hinges and other accessories as well. I do go on to do interior after this, so just stay tuned after this, because I do have an interior done after the whole time lapse. We stuck on the name the Allrunner XTS, adding a few more details here and there, and adding a very impressive, I love how the badging looks in the back, the Allrunner badging on the back. Framing in the back taillights, and in front of us is the 2020 Allrunner XTS. Alright guys, so in front of us we've got the Allrunner XTS, nice bright yellow of course. Before we look at the design, because it is a pretty spicy looking vehicle, we'll look at the interior, which I guess is also part of the design. So we've got two seats, it's now a two-seater instead of a four-seater. I changed that because it's got two seats. We got like a parcel shelf, like a separation divider thing in the lobby in the back, because it looks better, I think so anyways. So we've got the interior mod, all the interior stuff is pretty much in. It's not perfect because you can see the parcel shelf is glitching through the side and the back a little bit. And the dash is going through the hood just a bit. This is a little bit of a wonky body to do it with, but it still works. And I'll edit like this out for a thumbnail in Photoshop or something like that. So design. Okay, the front we've got quad headlights similar to the Bronco, except instead of two, it's got four. The Bronco has this really distinctive sort of just dashed LED daytime running light kind of thing, or turn signal, yada yada yada. We've got these halo lights. We've got a turn signal down here with another daytime running light there as well. We got this interesting sort of weave, like wavy pattern in the front grille part, I guess is what this is. The bottom of in the front bumper we have dips and dives, some indentations and some bumper little outing areas in the front. Yeah, sure, I'm very descriptive. I know. So the wheels we have Jeep Wrangler wheels because they look pretty good in this vehicle as well. On the back we've got instead of having quad headlights, we've got quad taillights instead of circles. They're squares because it's a square vehicle. The circles look great in the front, the squares look great in the rear. And we have this similar wavy pattern in the rear as well. We got Allrunner scripture. Oh, and the interior looks the roof looks really weird, but okay, from in there, that's fine. The Allrunner scripture, or the writing, on the back of the decal, the emblem, whatever you want to call it, looks awesome. This is probably one of my favorite rear ends to look at for a car. And we have little turn signals or reflectors down here as well with a tow hitch. We have again, similar style of a rear to the front. And the rear tailgate would probably be rear hinge or side hinged. So it swings around similar to a Mercedes G-Wagon. And we have just dual exhaust just out the side or out the bottom of the side kind of angled there. So overall, it's a pretty cool car. Weighs in about 4,300 pounds, 4,400 pounds or so. 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. This is Ford Raptor 0 to 60. It's got Ford Raptor-ish power, I guess, as well. And Ford Raptor, it's lighter than a Raptor, so that makes sense. All that's left to do now is hop into BeamNG.drive, and I want to see if this thing can handle off-road as well as the Bronco or the Raptor or whatever. And I'll see you guys there in just 1 second. Alright guys, so we're in BeamNG. This is the grid map off-road trial with the Allrunner XTS, obviously. This is just a pretty quick little sub 1 minute trek. The card looks weird in Beam. The black does not transfer well. But that's perfectly fine. That's fine. It's a pretty tough off-road trek. We'll stay in third person for this one. We're in low range. We are in all locking diffs. ESC's off. Four-wheel drive, obviously. We're going to go nice and slow through here because this is a pretty rough area. The vehicle isn't that tall, to be honest. It doesn't sit that high. You know, it's more of a streetable off-road vehicle than an off-road vehicle from the ground up, maybe. I'm not too sure, even though it's off-road tuned and stuff. That's actually going pretty well. It's got more than enough power. It doesn't weigh too much. We're going this corner nice and slow here. 10 seconds. This is an easy course. Not bad. Go nice and fast through here. I mean, obviously, we're not really going for a record-breaking run of this course, which is like 30-something seconds. We can't see even somehow. This thing does a terrible turning radius. We've already not beat my record. That's okay. This thing just... Ooh, it's very interesting going through this mud. It doesn't like this that much. It is high enough that it's not drowning in the mud. That's fine. 50 seconds. That's fine. That's a nice little test on that. This thing handled it pretty well, I think. Not my best run, but not my worst, actually. Actually, yeah, it's not too bad. And we'll hop into, I think, one more. Sort of an off-road circuit. I think there's like a good small island, you would say. This is mixed mountain climb. You know, this sounds fine. Up and down mountain. I've never done this one ever in my entire life. This is my literal first attempt on it. We'll see if I can set a time. Any time, to be honest, would be fantastic. I guess we'll have to take a look. I'm not 100% confident myself, but you know what? We'll see. We'll see. I'm not too worried. So this looks like not crazy off-road. Starts here. We will take off the ESC. We'll lock the diffs and leave it in just high range. No low range for us, right? We don't need low range. We'll stay in third person as well. For an off-road vehicle, I think that's probably best. We can see just a bit more. This thing is pretty quick, honestly. Okay, this thing turns... I've never done this course ever in my entire life. There's some rocks here. Fantastic. We'll just go right over them. Full speed ahead. Now, this is an off-road vehicle, obviously. Oh, this is an interesting trail. This thing has a pretty nasty turning radius, though. It does not like turning. Probably thanks to all the solid axles. Not too much... Yeah, you just can't turn it that much. Turn very quick. Up the hill, we're fine. We sort of went around that, but that's okay. Oh boy, that's not good. We're fine. We're not fine. We'll reload that, I guess. All of us are editing that out, probably. My gosh, we're just damaging this vehicle left, right, and center. The problem is just when you're going really fast and trying to get like we're not setting lap times or anything, but when you're trying to go at a decent pace, I'm sort of damaging things, which is probably not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Damaging a car is not wise, probably. I'm not too sure. I'm not an expert or anything. It's the track just a bit. We're fine. Bit of extra off-roading for us today. Oh, man, this thing is... It drives pretty well, though. You know, it's an off-road vehicle. We're going off-roading, so... I hope it drives decent. I'm not gonna lie. If it doesn't, that'd be kind of sad. Following the track, it turned right here. No, that was not terrible. There we go. This is not bad so far. We're gonna go up the hill, nice and fast, I guess, because we are. Over here. A lot of throwing the steering wheel back and forth is needed for this track. Yeah, I mistook that farther trick point for the finish line last time. That's fine. We're gonna like this. Oof. Okay, there's the trail. This is a trail, not even a... Yeah, this is a lot more... less of a trail than there was before, I think. Oh boy, this is not good. This is not good. We're fine. We're fine now. We're fine. Look at that. That was totally intentional, though. Like, 100%. All planned out. We're gonna go this way. We're fine. Oh boy. There we go. Okay, we saved that somehow. And we're gonna climb this hill back again. This is just a complete nightmare, and I love it. This is literally like this is the furthest I've ever gone on this track in my life. There's some rocks up ahead. Go nice and slow with the beat. Oh wow, we're getting really hung up. Okay, we lost a tire. I think we're okay though. It just means more grip. Who needs inflated tires anyways? Just, oh boy, that one threw us off the ledge last time, I think. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. And I'm actually gonna put this car. I'll give a Google Drive link to my car to download if you guys want to download the car file and take a look at it and tune it and drive it. Do whatever you want with it. It'll be quite interesting to see what you guys can come up with. Oh wow, there's some rocks here. We're fine. Back tire, the rear right tire thing's deflated, which is fine. We're handling it nicely. The car doesn't really need to be... Oh boy. That was really close. I don't know. I'm not going to take any credit for saving that time. There's the end. That was very casual. Very cash money. Very nice cruise. This thing is quite fast in the gravel. My gosh. A 248. We'll take that. I'm not sure if that's good or not. I'm assuming it's terrible. But we'll take that. That was fantastic. We'll hop in. Look at the interior. The interior actually looks... not terrible. Yeah, the black is kind of glitching out. That's okay, though. This is overall not a bad car to drive. 10 out of 10 would drive it again. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know in the comments down below. This thing was a lot of fun. If you guys want to see more interior cars, let me know. There should be a live stream coming later today, probably. Not Automation or BeamNG, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. And more videos are coming as well. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time.